13. Do okay? We're going to do more of that. We're going to do more of that. So, let me make sure. Was this number 1? Was that number 1? Yes. Okay. So, we're going to take a little... They're magnet. They are. Let's see if they'll stick with here. So on this, I wanted you to find the slope, the x-intercept, and the y-intercept. Everybody close your computers right now. Everybody close them down. We don't need these computers up and going. You can save the battery for a little bit. We're just going to focus, okay? So with standard form, you know it's standard form because you got your x, your y, your equal sign, and then your numbers. Everybody okay on that? Everybody good on that? All right, so if I'm going to find slope, I'm going to take the number in front of x. What is the number in front of x?
Coefficient.
Yeah, but what is the actual number? Good job. 3 is the coefficient. Very good. Hi. That's a level, was it level 3 tier word, I think? All right, so what is the actual number? 1. Okay? Over on the bottom, you're going to put the number in front of y, which is 2. Then you're going to change the sign of x. You're going to check it to reduce. Does it reduce? No, then you leave it. Just like that. That's your slope. It's done. It's over with. Boom. That's why I like math. You do it that way every time, you get the right answer. I like stuff like that. English, it's weird stuff happens in English. Alright, so for the x-intercept, for my x-intercept, I take the number in front of x, which is 1. I put it underneath my last number, and I reduce. Okay? So 8 over 1 is... Hey, on your paper, will you write it like that just to get a good habit? And I didn't ask you last night, but it won't kill anybody to do it right now. Jaden, you knock that out and write it like that for me, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. So the y-intercept, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the number in front of y, put it underneath that last number. I'm going to reduce. 8 divided by 2 is 4. But when I write it, it's going to be 0, comma 4. Was this number 2? 3x minus y equals 9? Yeah, okay, then I do have the right paper in front of me. Alright, so slope, I'm going to go a little bit faster. X on top, y on the bottom. Change the sign of x. Now here's a great example why we check it. If you write that for your final answer, I'm going to mark that mesh wrong. Because if you have a negative on top and a negative on the bottom, that turns into a 3. That's just a 3. It's a positive 3, okay? If you didn't do that, you might want to clean that up and fix it. X-intercept. Number in front of x, underneath the last number, and reduce. 9 over 3. It's 3. 3 comma 0. Y-intercept. Here's the number one thing that kids mess up on. The number in front of y is a negative 1. They forget those negative signs. They just leave them hanging out there. That negative sign's got to go with that number behind it. So 9 divided by negative 1 is negative 9. You don't have to write the letter x and the letter y. I can look and see, okay, that's x-intercept. They've got it in the x spot. If you didn't do this last night, I want you to write it. I want you to write it like this, okay? It'll be a little good practice for you. Number 3, negative 5x plus 6y equals 30. Put a little star by this one. This is just an example for last night. We're going to talk about negative x's in a minute. Okay? But for right now, we're going to just leave it like that. So to find the slope, I put negative 5 on top. I put 6 on the bottom. Ooh, about to change the sign of y. Change the sign of x. 5, 6. My slope is 5, 6. X-intercept, I take my last number, 30, I put the x underneath it, and you put your original x underneath it. The only thing you change is when you're finding the slope. That's another mistake kids make. 30 divided by negative 5, negative 6 comma 0. Y-intercept, 30 on top, number in front of y on the bottom, 0, 5. That's my x and y-intercept. Hey, look what I just did. X, Y, intercept. What do I have now? I got points. I can find slope. There's a lot I can do from that, couldn't I? Rise over run. Boom. Alright, number 4. Negative 6x plus 3y equals negative 9. Find the slope, put the x on top, put the y on the bottom. You're going to reduce that after you change the sign. It's 2. Find the x-intercept. You're always thinking reduce. Okay, first of all, you got negative on top, negative on bottom. Here it's going to be positive. But what's that going to reduce down to? 3/2 comma 0. It would not be a point I would want to plot on a graph. What the heck is 3/2? 1.5. You better hope it's broken down into 0.5s. If not, you're guessing on that too. That's why we hit the corners. It gives us whole numbers. So negative 9 over 3. Negative 3 should have been your y-intercept. Negative 3x plus y equals 6. Number 5. Find the slope. X on top, y on bottom. Change your sign of x. Slope is just 3. It should be getting easier. X-intercept. Number in front of x, underneath the last number. Y-intercept. Number in front of y, underneath the last number. Number 6, slope. X on top, y on bottom. Change the sign of x. Fix that, make it look better. It's positive. M equals 5/3. X-intercept. Number in front of x, underneath the last number. Y-intercept. Number in front of y, underneath the last number. Some of you still may be a little bit confused. Some of you in this class, I love you, I do, I love this class. Y'all going to start asking questions, a few of them. Now, I tutor every Wednesday. I'll be here today to 4:30, and every Wednesday I'm tutoring. Now I let it go about 3 weeks, and some of y'all will say, you better be at Wednesday tutoring. You're not asking questions, and you got these quiz, and it stunk it up, so you better get with it, okay? So some of you that sit here quiet, and you don't know what the heck you're doing, you're hurting yourself. All right, get your notes out. It's fun stuff today. Woo! I'm excited about today.
I'm running on 3 hours of sleep.
Today we actually do some math. Yesterday we wasn't math, it was just putting numbers under numbers and reducing. Technically how it was. Today we're going to link some things together. What the heck is slope and standard form, slope, intercept, standard form, how they relate? What is it? What's the point of it? Okay? First, let's look at slope intercept. We talked about this on Monday. You need to know that formula. That may come up on a quiz sometimes. Y equals mx plus b. That is a very, very famous. by equals c. The a, b, and c are capitalized because technically they're going to be numbers. You will have an x, you will have a y. Same thing over here. You always have two variables. You have an x and a y. You have an x and a y. So I have an equation up there. Y equals negative 4x minus 3. What form is that equation written in? Slope-intercept, okay? You can find the slope. You can find the y-intercept. What if that's all they gave you and they asked you to find the x-intercept? Hope everybody's listening because this is where math comes in. You're going to have to learn something today. What if they said, okay, we need you to put that into, we need you to find the x-intercept with that. Well, you can't find the x-intercept when it's in slope-intercept form, can you? I want you to watch something. I'm going to change slope-intercept form into standard form. Standard form says the x comes first. So I need to move that x to the other side. What happens when I move something to the other side? Okay, change your sign. So I now have 4x plus y equals negative 3. It's now in standard form. Now that one was sweet because I did it in one move. It doesn't always happen that way, okay? Standard form, here's what you need to know. When it's in true standard form, the x can't be negative. You can't have a negative x when it's in standard form. That font, you know, a couple of them on your homework last night, it had a negative x. That was just so you could write stuff there. You also can't have fractions. Look at your formula. Whole numbers. Positive. That x is positive. That y can be negative. It's okay. Y is negative. The x cannot be negative. You also cannot have fractions. Because how in the heck would you put a fraction underneath that last number? You see what I'm saying? So we have to do stuff at times. Now, this one move on this one move got it perfect. Okay? Ethan, I hope you boys over there is listening real good. This one move made it perfect. We're good. Now, can I find the x-intercept? Can I find the x-intercept? Yes. Okay? How do I find the x-intercept? It's in standard form. How do you find the x-intercept? What do I put underneath the negative 3? You're going to write it like this. It's in the x place. It's the x. The first number in parentheses is the x. Now, the y-intercept and the slope I could have found just like here. This slope, negative 4. My b is negative 3. Well, it should be the same thing to find the y-intercept. I take the number in front of y, put it underneath the last number. Same thing. To find the slope, I take the number in front of x, put that on top, put the number in front of y on the bottom, change the sign of x. Jaden, are you looking up? Every once in a while you need to at least look up. Look up there, son. So, and then I say, okay, that's going to be negative 4. Well, same thing. Doesn't matter. same line. Two different equations to explain the same line. But now life doesn't always happen in just one little step and everything's hunky-dory. Sometimes you gotta do more than that. Let's try another one. Y equals 3x plus 1. That's in slope-intercept form. I need to be able to go from slope-intercept form to standard form. Okay? Well, what do I need to move? What do I need to move?
3x.
Okay, I'm going to move that 3x to the other side. What happens when you move something over? Negative 3x plus y equals 1. Can't have a negative. Can't have a negative. What's the easiest way to get rid of a negative? Or, if you divide by a negative, what do you end up with? All you're doing is switching the signs, right? You're not changing the coefficient. All you're doing is switching the signs. Well, what else can you do? If you don't divide by a negative, what else could you do? You can multiply by a negative as well. All you're doing is switching the signs. It's technically all you're doing. Does everybody understand that? So if I multiply everything here, and I say everything, I mean every term that I have up there. If I multiply everything by that negative 1, then we're good to go. We're in that perfect form. Now, what's the x-intercept? How do I find the x-intercept? The only reason you're doing this is to find the x-intercept. You can find every other thing in this form. The only thing you can't find is the x-intercept. So, what is the x-intercept now? What do I do?
Put 3 under.
Put the 3 under that negative 1. And I want you to write it like this. I don't in this form. My perfect form up there is all integers, positive and negative whole numbers. Now you can have it. You can have a fraction intercept. Well, okay, so let me ask you something. Joby's question, you can't have fractions. Do we have fractions in math? All the time. Y equals negative 2/3 x minus 2. Slope-intercept form. And it asks me, okay. Is that my stuff? No, wait. Slope-intercept form, it asks you for the x-intercept. You've got to move it to standard form. What are you going to move? Does everybody reckon, Kirsten, what am I going to move? Negative 2/3 x. I'm going to move it over there and put it in front. What happens when you move something across? Change sign. Well, my x is positive. That's good, but... Oh. I know y'all like to divide, but I like to multiply. Division and multiplication is kind of the same thing, especially when you're talking about fractions. Okay. Well, what can I do? Bam. Thank you, Ethan. You are a smart young man. You can multiply everything by 3. I can multiply everything by 3. Okay? Well, if I multiply everything by 3, what happens to this number? Huh? 3's cancel out. What am I left with? I heard two different numbers. I can't put two numbers down. 2x. What about this? What's this change to? What's this?
Figure 6.
Man, if we could just solve the world's problems as easy as we solve these math problems, dude, would it be an awesome place to live in? Okay, now we're finding the x-intercept. We're finding the x-intercept. What do? There should be confidence. What do? What do I put under the negative 6?
2.
There you go. So what is my x-intercept?
Negative 3.
It's not hard, is it? Ah, they didn't have to show me hard. Well, we just got this math. Okay. So if I can go from slope-intercept to standard, wouldn't it make sense that I could go from standard to slope-intercept?
Yes.
Yes. Now, why would we?
To find the y.
Why? Standard form, I can find the x-intercept, I can find the y-intercept, I can find the slope. What else would I need to find? Really, there's no reason why you would ever move it. There's no reason why. Just to be showing off maybe. Okay? I'm going to show you how it can be done because sometimes, I don't know when, but anyway, I am going to show you how. Here's standard form. X minus y equals 1. I want to put it in slope-intercept. Going to move that 2x over. Negative y equals negative 2x plus 1. Am I done? No, why not? Can't have a negative y. Can't be negative. I'll make you division people happy. I'll divide everything by negative 1. All you're doing is flipping a sign. That's all you're doing. So y equals 2x minus 1. I do not know, unless there's some big higher math and calculus, that why you would ever want to change anything from standard to slope-intercept. I do not know. Only that if for some reason North Carolina asks you, they give you something like this, and they say, what would this look like in slope-intercept form? That is the only thing I've ever seen them do, and I'm going to show you the question that they ask on a test. It was worded somewhat like that, and they had standard, and they had y equals. Now, I do not teach the rest of my kids standard form. I only teach third period standard form, okay? Because they can't understand, it's just too much for them, okay? I would just tell them, hey, if you have something like this, you got to move that over. And then you compare. We which one's bigger than the 1/2, okay? I don't know why mathematically you would ever try to move that from standard. Standard tells you everything you need to know. Slope-intercept leaves out the x-intercept. Okay, now they'll ask you some EOC questions about the x-intercept, especially when we get into quadratics, and you need to know. Okay? Alright? Everybody good on that so far? Well, since I just want to give one more note on something. This will help save some time later on. Parallel. The word parallel. You know, in math, it's pretty obvious we call things what we do. Slope-intercept, you can find the slope, and you can find the y-intercept. Okay, we call it that because that's what we call it. Standard is just standard. That's just the standard form throughout math. Parallel. Parallel slope. Parallel lines are doing what? They're running in the same direction, right? Forever and ever. Parallel slope is called the same slope. Parallel slope is the same slope. You can have two different lines with hey, these are two different lines. These are two different lines that have the same slope. Okay? These are two different lines. These are equations of two different lines. They're not the same line. How do I know that these are not the same line? Okay? This line's got to touch at 5. This line's got a positive slope. It's going to the right. Hope you guys are writing this stuff down. These are your notes. I may not teach this again, but you will have questions based on this. That second line is going across a -3. Parallel lines, train tracks, they put them down. It's two different lines. Okay, parallel lines, highway. They take that off. They have a grid. They punch in their coordinates. Parallel lines. Parallel, same slope. If you have a question, and you will eventually, if you have a question that talks about parallel lines, look at the slope. The slope needs to be the same. Now, on this EOC question, they will give you the equation is, they're going to give you something this easy, my God. That's easy. They'll give you one equation in slope-intercept, they'll give you one equation in standard form, but you know how to find the slope if it's in standard form. You also know how to find the slope if it's in slope-intercept form. Okay? Parallel, same. Sometimes our lines do cross. Perpendicular lines when you have perpendicular lines, you're talking about slope. Parallel and perpendicular, that's two key words. They'll ask it in word problems. Parallel, perpendicular, it's dealing with slope. You see the word parallel, you see the word perpendicular, you're thinking slope. When you see perpendicular, you're going to flip and change the sign. For instance, let's say -2/3 is my original slope. This is what I begin with. And they said, hey, you know, we got a perpendicular, it's perpendicular to this line. Perpendicular to this line. I'm going to take my original slope, I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to go from a negative to a positive. Parallel is the same. Parallel lines are the same. Perpendicular, you're gonna flip and change. Parallel is the same. Perpendicular, you're gonna flip and change. Is there any questions? Any questions on that? Y'all pretty okay on that? Y'all pretty okay on going from slope intercept to standard form? Y'all right on that? Alright, I've got a worksheet to give you.